let's begin with talking about RealStream news. Okay, so a lot of you guys may not know who this person is, and I really want to sum this up by saying that he is a he's a news streamer, just like the blog. I'm sure a lot of you guys know who the blog is on here. He goes into streams, he like records like content and puts it up on his channel. Well, RealStream News is a similar channel to the blog, and RealStream News does cover a lot of topics, YouNow related topics, and as far as I'm aware, I believe that he's in the house tonight. If he's not, he'll probably be watching this on replay, we'll see. But obviously some of you guys remember what I said on the prior show. I reported on a story about him, and the story went that RealStream News flew a woman out by the name of Amber to stay with him in a hotel and do an interview with him about her, okay? She was a well-known supporter of a celebrity on YouTube called Onision. I'm sure some of you guys have seen him on YouNow. He sometimes streams on YouNow as well. And the reason why is because Amber had fell out with the star, that like fell out with Onision. There was like some friction, some problems. So obviously, as any individual would, any news platform would, he jumped on the opportunity to like interview her. Okay, it was alleged that after the interview, and I think you guys need to be aware, this is what the accusations were, that he got her intoxicated and took advantage of her, which is essentially classified as rape, okay? And that's something I don't like saying. I don't like saying the R word on broadcast, but that was the allegations that were made against him, okay? And up until that point, that's all I'd really heard about it. And this was actually on one of the previous summits, so if you guys missed it, my apologies. But I really do want to touch on this more. You know, this is obviously a very serious allegation. I'm sure you guys are aware of this. And after, you know, in the days after this event occurred, there was a wave of negativity that was thrown in the direction of RSN, as you could probably guess. If any broadcaster was treated like that or spoken to like that, well, I don't know, like, if any broadcaster was accused of anything like that, it would be such bad publicity, wouldn't it? Let's be real, like, for any of us as streamers, any of us as people, you know. But he was obviously public, you know, because of what came out, you know, that side of the story. He was publicly condemned by several different streamers. Some have argued that I actually, myself, publicly condemned him. But to me, it wasn't about that, and I wasn't trying to condemn him. You know, I'm just doing my job, and my job is to report on news and information. I do see myself as a reporter on here, and when I post stories, it's never personal for me. It's never like a conflict of interest, I would say. And if I feel like there is a conflict of interest, I will not cover it. I will not cover it. Okay. But obviously, I mean, I think the main thing I want everybody to be aware of is, you know, just because I don't have like 100% of the information or like the full story doesn't mean I'm not allowed to publish that information. I think that's something that people need to be aware of. Like, look at CNN, BBC, and like Fox News. There are people who report the anchorman. They don't necessarily have like the complete scoop. You know what I mean? They work with what they've got, and I want people to just be aware that I went with the information that I had. You know. And I think that's something that should be, you know, never taken out of context. I did reach out to him actually to appear on one of my summits and actually come on and talk about what happened. But I mean, as anybody would in that kind of situation, being like targeted by so many people, he didn't want to come on, you know, which you know, I do completely understand. I do genuinely, you know, I understand that. But what I feel these other streamers need to do now is exactly what I'm doing. They need to do an update video. They need to do like an update stream. I don't know, whatever they do, and express to their audiences what is fact and what isn't fact. I want everyone to be aware that it's been weeks since these allegations have come up, weeks since the police first got involved, and he is still a free man. Okay, he is still a free man. That he's been in contact with the police. That he has had detectives like communicating with him. And he is still not in prison. And I think that does really say something that, you know, first of all, you're innocent until proven otherwise. I think that's very, very important for people to be aware of. But, you know, obviously, does that mean that Amber was taking advantage of RSN, like the opposite? Like, I feel like that's really open to interpretation, and it's something I don't really want to report on until I know more about, have like more of a clearer picture. I think that's something that I do need to kind of like take from this whole situation, is that if I don't have like the full understanding, I'm not going to cover like certain parts and certain things. But I think everybody needs to understand that this man is not behind bars, that apparently the case has been closed, and if that's true, what's the problem? He's innocent until proven otherwise. You know, these kind of allegations can ruin somebody's life, and I think that's something that I feel like any of you in that instance or who have felt that, you should probably understand that. And I think we should just let the man like live his life and let him. I mean, he's not been banned on YouTube, he's not been removed from anything, so I think you guys should just keep it real. Keep it real. And, you know, if there is any new evidence or any new information that, you know, goes against him, then we can talk about that when we get to it. But until that point, I have no interest in really talking any further. It just reminds me of like the Just Ryan situation, like people making allegations against him. You know, unless it's concrete and it's, you know, it's indisputable, I don't really know like what you want from me. Like, I'm not gonna accuse him of something that he hasn't been proven to do. You know, and I think that's the way that the Western society is, right? Is that correct? That you are innocent until proven otherwise? And obviously we do not have courts of law on you now, but at the same time, if the information was there, if it was concise, well, they wouldn't have any defense to stand on, but he does. So it's really about evidence, and that's very, very important. And that's kind of what I wanted to get across to you guys. So thank you for hearing me on that.